this is gonna come off sounding mean and arrogant, but I really
Yeah.
don't mean it that way. It's just discipline, Like I just focus like I have to post whatever it takes, like I have to post, whether that be a repost, whether that be me recycling something, whether it be me, finding something quick to make a video, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I just have to, it's like it just comes down to discipline. And it's my job. This is how I make all my money. So if I don't
Yeah.
post, I'm not going to make money. Then I'm not going to pay
Yeah.
rent. It doesn't like if you spend 100 hours a day on social media every day, that's not, I mean, not
Mm-hmm.
100 hours, 100 minutes, 100 minutes. So like 2 hours, less than two
Mm-hmm.
hours every
Every
single
day.
day. Every day,
Mm-hmm.
you're fine, but it's part of your business. Like I work 7 days a week. I don't work 16 hours 7 days a week, but I work every single day. Every single day, I post to each of my accounts.
Welcome to the Immerse Productions podcast, where you'll learn the fastest way to produce a song without all the BS. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, Sabrina, who goes by Sides. She's grown quite the social media following over the past few years. She also teaches production to others online, as well as how to grow social media. So if you want to get tips on both of those things, you're going to love today's podcast. So we're going to pick her brain a little bit, get some insight, and hopefully it brings a lot of value to you. So let's dive right in.
Hi, Sabrina. So it's going to be a quick interview that we'd like to know a little bit about you. So can you please share your journey on how you got into music production, your Berklee journey? I already know about it, but I'd love for our viewers and listeners to know a little bit more.
Yes. So I am a singer, songwriter, producer. I was mostly just a singer. Well, I was just a singer before COVID, and then COVID happened and I lost all my gigs. So in 2020, when I was stuck at home, I started learning how to produce. And then I started posting on TikTok, and then I started really learning about social media. And then I've been working with music tech companies, and now here I am. I mostly work with music tech companies creating content and music for them, but I also, make my own music and do that mostly as like a passion project. And then I also teach and sell courses, and I'm really passionate about making music production more accessible to more people. So, yeah.
Awesome. So you touched upon making music production more accessible to other people as well, which is a big deal because all three of us have spent hundreds and thousands of dollars doing this, fortunately or unfortunately, right? So can you
Mhm.
tell us what's the best idea, like best way for future producers to learn music production and what you're doing? We'd love to know a little bit about that as well.
The best way to learn music production is to pick a DAW, whatever DAW of your choice. So you can even start with GarageBand or BandLab, which are free DAWs. And then you just, find a course you like, or a YouTuber that you like and follow their videos, and then just start learning, start making music, like that's pretty much it. I mean,
Right.
like, get down to the breakdowns of, for me, it was like once I learned how to do a drum progression, it opened the doors for me. And then just going on from there.
From what I remember, you had started learning Logic Pro X, and then simultaneously you started doing your social media, correct? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
how was that progression? You were already like singing. I know there was COVID, but what made you think that you want to do music production? It's very similar to me. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh yeah. So I was stuck at home, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, and
Same.
I kept waiting for the gigs to come back, but they didn't. They didn't come back. So I was scrolling on Facebook one day, and this ad came up which said, "Learn how to produce in 30 days." And I was like, "This is stupid. I went to Berkeley. I didn't learn music production there. Why would I learn this now?" And then
Exactly.
the ad said, "Oh," and then I clicked on the ad anyways, and it was a sale. So I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a go. So I I took the class, and then I became obsessed, and then that's when it really just all started for me.
Right. It's literally the same. It was COVID. I was mostly singing. I had my singles out. I was never into music production. I used to never even touch the DAW because I used to do all of that. And we were roommates back then. And then
Oh, really?
COVID, we had nothing to, yeah, we were roommates. I had nothing to do. and all my gigs were out. I was back in India, and we just decided. He first taught me, and I saw the technique that he had was like awesome. It was like really fast, and he taught me, and then we thought like, why not do this for the whole world? That's kind of how we started. Yeah. So you touched upon YouTubers. Any role models, any people that back in the day you were following, and even now that you think
Um,
people should follow?
so Nathan Larson is really good. I don't know if you guys saw him. He
Okay.
posts a lot of like Logic Pro stuff. And oh, I can't remember the other ones. I used to watch Produce like
Pro, something like that,
no,
right?
not
Produce like a
Pro.
pro.
Produce Like a Boss. Chris
Ah,
Bradley. This girl,
right.
she's also really good, and I took one of her courses too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, how do you balance all the technical skills of mixing, mastering, recording with creativity and the whole artistic process? How do you go about that in your workflow?
I just, I just try to be like patient with myself and do like little by little. I mean, I'm also really lucky because my boyfriend, who's also a music producer, and he's more interested in mixing and mastering, so I just usually will hand off my projects to him to
You're
mix and master.
lucky, very
Yeah,
lucky.
exactly. But,
No way.
the stuff I post on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, I usually just mix myself, and it just gets
Right.
kind of like in a work, and you get used to it in the workflow and used to what you're hearing. And
Mhm.
also, I am I'm pretty into like my presets, for my like it becomes clockwork with your sound and your voice and
Ah,
stuff.
so you
Right.
have like a template in place for all
Template.
this.
I have my go-tos, you know,
Right.
especially with
Just
like my
learn a
vocal.
few.
I have my like vocal chain go-tos.
Perfect.
Yeah, just like that's what we also teach everyone, that you need
We're
to just
always
know a
telling them,
few
yeah,
things. Yeah.
use
Just learn
templates.
a few plugins, a few things, and learn them well. That's it. That's all you need. Right.
So you found your
So
sound and
Exactly.
your
what's
presets and you've dialed that in, and this year you can just quickly
Yeah.
access it. So it makes it a lot
did
Yeah.
faster and easier.
did you like
Yeah.
figure this out yourself, like the plugins that you want to use, or was it
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, because I do like content creation, I get a lot of stuff sent to me. So I'll try out different things that I like, and then things will stick, and then, some things will just get lost in the sauce. So yeah, I just like stick with the ones that I like and that I'm comfortable using.
right, right, right? I think you posted one plugin which had all the dials in it, and then you have to
Yeah.
just tweak it for the vocals. That was really cool. I felt, which is
Yeah.
something I should try for sure. I saved it on my Instagram. But
Yeah.
talking about plugins, what's your creative process like when you're like making music or even for social media? Because that needs to be done quick, right?
I get to make music. Yeah, like I just make music whenever I can, really. And like a lot of times I'll be working on a new video and I'll need to make music for that video, and then that'll turn into inspiration for a song. So, yeah, like sometimes I start with the lyrics, sometimes I start with the melody, sometimes I start with the beat. It all just depends.
Are there any
Yeah.
specific tools or plugins that you prefer?
Well, I like a lot of the stock Logic stuff. The stock Logic stuff is really good. I also really like Slate Digital All Access is a good one. So I use a lot of those and a lot of Native Instruments plugins. Um, yeah.
So you mentioned stock plugins and Logic.
hmm
So stock plugins, in your opinion, do they get the job done? You think that's totally fine for someone starting out, or they have
Yeah,
to like get something
100%.
else?
I mean, Logic is very good with their plugins. They've invested a lot of money, and you can tell like they've made them very user friendly, and all you need is stock plugins, really.
That's good to know actually for someone that's just coming into this, so they don't buy a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that they don't even need.
Which is a big problem in the industry, actually.
Yes.
So in a field where there's so many guys producing music and you don't see a lot of or as many female producers, what's that like for you? Do you find that there's any specific challenges to that or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter being a producer or a singer because you're always like in the studio or working with a lot of guys, or even just, yeah, even just being in the band is usually mostly guys. So I've gotten used to it, and yeah, things have gotten a little bit better you know. But it's just I just try to, work with people that are give me respect and stuff like that. So,
Right. You know what? This is one of the main reasons I really wanted to have you as our first guest for the podcast. We've already recorded our second episode, but because it's so important because I've met so many female producers in my life at Berkeley, talented ones, but for some reason, even the clients that we've had, only a couple ladies.
mm,
So that always used to concern me, especially because my wife is a feminist economist. So I always know about the gender differences happening, and we always talk about this. So it's good to see you, leading.
thank you.
Um, yeah, awesome. So one thing I've always thought about, even before I went to Berkeley, I always thought that we need to have big studios to record music. We did that, all three of us, right? And the moment we were out of college, we came back to our bedrooms and we are like, okay, what to do? I mean, at least I hope you can resonate with me. But now we are in these studios which we've built over time. I know you also started from zero, all three of us did. But do you think for a producer who's starting out, now that we have these skills, do you think it's necessary to record at studios, or everything can be done at home at the same quality, professional music quality, without
Well,
spending on the panels?
um, well, I mean, the panels do go a long way. The panels have more of an impact than most people think. So
Mhm.
I think the panels are worth it if you're going to be doing a lot of home recording. But I mean, I was selling vocals, you know, to people all over the world before I had like a professional studio. I was just using like a USB mic, honestly, and I was able to make, money as like a session singer. So there's so many things that people can do now. Um, I mean, I think, it's hard to make money in this industry. So any way that you can cut costs is really good for musicians. So yeah, so building your own studio, even if getting like a simple interface, simple microphone, some sort of isolated system, then yeah, it'll go a long way.
Okay. So get like the minimum required equipment that you need to start off, and then eventually you can make it big, right?
Studio for less than $1,000, really.
Yeah, which is the bare minimum after the laptop, right? Let's dive into a little bit of social media questions. Awesome. So you've been doing social media for last 3 years, right? 3 or 4 years, if I'm not wrong. And I've seen you grow from, I believe I saw you were at 19,000 when first discovered you, and I joined one of your master classes,
On
and
TikTok.
I'm sorry?
Did you see me on Instagram or TikTok?
No, I saw you on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. It's banned in my country, so I don't use it too
Oh,
much. Yeah. And then I got into one of your master classes. It was a weekend thing. And then you liked my mashups. If you remember, you shared a couple of those as well. And I've
yes.
seen you grow over time. So how has that journey been for you so far? How difficult was it?
So a lot of people got to see like the tip of the iceberg, right? Like the growth. Oh wow, you've grown so much. But I mean, I graduated Berkeley 10 years ago, so this is like the first time I'm really like finding success within the industry. So there's like all that climbing. Social media has more pros than cons. Obviously, like every single thing I've gotten, all my work, 100% of my work I get from social media. So that's why I show up and I post every single day. And now I post for other channels too, other companies too, that I believe in, and I'm building up their community. It's, and then, there's the negative parts of it, which is constantly battling the algorithms. You're at war with the
Yeah,
algorithms.
man.
The algorithms are kind of your boss. And then, the hate comments, which comes and goes. It's like, it's a weird thing because, like, when you're really popping off, you're getting a lot of views, a lot of visibility. And with that comes a lot more hate, right? Because if your video only gets shown to your fans, then you don't really get that much hate. But then when you get like a viral video or a video that pops off, like, there it comes, there's the fans, and then wow, I'm doing really good with the algorithms. So
Right.
it's that kind of thing, right? And like if you want a successful post comes, you know, the hate comments. So yeah, pros and cons. I don't love like the fame side of it. I don't love like the criticism and that aspect. That's kind of why I've been focusing a lot on like building other businesses and other things behind the scenes that I can kind of build the plan instead of me myself being the product, because ultimately like the goal was to always just like be able to make money doing music in some capacity, right? Or make money being creative in some capacity. So now I've achieved that, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not as much focusing on growing. I don't have any interest in having 1 million followers or like 1 million fans. Like that's not like the ultimate goal for me.
Yeah, 10,000 good fans are better than like a million, you know, ones who
Exactly.
don't want to. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very fair point. Because even we've felt that problem of algorithm right now from me having my, now both of us have merged our accounts because it was getting so overwhelming. So we're trying to put all our brains into one account, and still the algorithms are not like pushing us. I believe we're putting in a lot of effort, but is that the same case with you right now? In your own level, of course.
I mean, I post every single day, so I can't really know, you know what I mean? Like I don't focus on like the individual views or engagement. I focus on the big picture, just like the
How
constant growth.
how do
And
you
I've
do it every day?
how do you
It's
how do you work together when you have such a big time difference?
we it's actually it works for our advantage because it's 12 hours work difference. So the time I sleep is the time he wakes up, so it's constant clock. And then we also have our own team. We have a social media person and we have a video editor full time, all hired. And still it's overwhelming. So that's why I'm asking, that's my next question. How do you do all it
Um,
yourself?
this is gonna come off sounding mean and arrogant, but I really
Yeah.
don't mean it that way. It's just discipline, you know? Like I just
Yes.
like I just focus like I have to post. You know what I mean? Like whatever it takes, like I have to post, whether that be a repost, whether that be me recycling something, whether it be me, finding something quick to make a video, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I just have to, it's like it just comes down to discipline, and it's my job. This is how I make all my money. So if I don't
Yeah.
post, I'm not going to make money. Then I'm not going to pay
Yeah.
rent. So it's just
Right.
discipline, you know? It doesn't like if you spend 100 hours a day on social media every day, that's not, I mean, not
Mm-hmm.
100 hours, 100 minutes, 100 minutes. So like 2 hours, less than two
Mm-hmm.
hours every
Every
single,
day.
every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine, but it's part of your business. Like I work 7 days a week. I don't work 16 hours 7 days a week, but I work every single day. Every single day, I post to each of my accounts.
Right. Each of your can you do it all yourself? Like the editing, I hope you
I do
outsource,
all the
right?
editing and all of that myself for most of them, and I also work for other companies where I do all the editing and shooting and writing. But I do also for YouTube, I have somebody that helps me because YouTube is just a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not mean or arrogant to tell future producers to be disciplined. That's a trait
Okay.
you need as musicians. That is like literally the first trait because it takes so long for you to get results. Like you
Mhm.
said, 10 years, and I graduated in 2014. I think I've started seeing traction only around 2019. So it's super important to be disciplined.
Right? I just hear excuses because you can go into the
Yeah.
studio and say,
Mhm.
"Hey, I'm in India at blah 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 in the morning. This is the song I'm working on. This is what I have right
Right.
now." You
Yeah.
can, and then like I'm gonna show you what I do after, and then you make it after, and then you know what I mean. Like it's all. It
Right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're posting. It doesn't matter if you're posting
Right.
music. It doesn't matter if you're
Hmm.
posting soap. It doesn't matter if you're posting about accounting. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Like the content
Right.
itself, once you get better at it, once you get easier at it, it won't take that much time. Do you know what I mean? Like for me,
Right.
like yeah, maybe I'm not writing a whole song in a song in a video, but actually like if I'm making a video on synthesis and I'm trying to explain synthesis in 40 seconds, every single second counts. Every single thing counts. Also, every 2 to 4 seconds you want something coming and going. So that could take me a
Hmm.
lot of time making the diagrams, doing the things, doing that. But it's like
Right.
do the work because you know it will come back to you. It's like being a real estate agent. There's so many
Right.
unpaid hours, right? Quote unquote unpaid hours. But when you
Right.
sell, you're gonna make a lot of money. And the same with social media. When it pays off, it's gonna pay off. Like I'm a great example of it. People don't like to work the unpaid hours. They don't
That's
like to do that.
it's hard to keep discipline to do that. That's the main thing, I guess. But do you put the same amount
Make
of
the money.
emphasis? I'm sorry, say that again, please.
You end up making the money back for those unpaid hours if everything goes according to plan, which it should. If you
And
follow
quite a
your
lot of
music plan.
amount by what I've seen from your reels of the amount of money you made last year. So it
Yeah.
comes back really fat paychecks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like similar what we had as well in the beginning when we were making the course in COVID. It took us a lot of time to figure out how to do it, but I think within a couple of months we were making good money, and that's how we realized how strong social media and building a business around music production is. But my next question is, do you pay the same attention on your stories as much as you do on reels and post? And what do you think about the whole reels versus post thing? That because reels is going down the engagement, at least for my our profile, but how has it been for you?
Basically, stories are just as important as reels, if not more important, because it's a click-through action, right? So you can put a link right in your story. So that's why stories are really, really important. So I do focus on doing a very engaging story. Um, Posts, I don't really do that many posts. I still do reels because I still think reels are sound on, and reels I don't focus on the engagement or the algorithms that much. I just focus on posting every single day for my target audience. That's all you need to focus on. Posting good content for your target audience. Some videos are going to do better than others. Sometimes if you repost, they'll do better than the first time. They won't do better than the first time. But if you follow the strategy and post for your targeted audience, it will pay off.
If you are releasing a reel every day or a content every day, it's easy for you to lose on the quality, but I don't see your quality going down ever. So how
Oh,
do you maintain that, and how important is it to
yeah.
maintain
Well,
quality on social media?
I mean, quality is always going to be king, right? If I just post a picture of me in a dark room talking about something that's not targeted, it's not going to help. But like, it's a skill that you become better at. So obviously, I'm able to make quality content faster. You know, when I first started, it took me a lot longer to make each of these videos, but now I can do like a solid video 30 minutes or come up with a meme or something, 15 minutes, you know?
Right. So it's took taken you time to kind of get better at the art of creating content,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and
right?
that's where I have my whole course, the one that you came to, and like all my
Mm-hmm.
different concepts and strategies and stuff that can help people get better at social media.
Right. So for content creators like you who can go into like creating some reels of music production tips.
Yeah. So the last question was simply, what advice would you give to people that are upcoming, whether they're producer, artist, singer, songwriter?
Oh, so many things.
Like if
Um,
there were three things that you wish you knew, say
well,
5 years
first off,
ago.
well, since we've been talking about social media, first we'll go with that. Post on social media. Literally, all you have to do is document your process. You don't have to overthink it. If you don't know what you want to do, if you don't know what your targeted audience is yet, if you don't know who your goal is yet, just document what's going on. Day one at Berklee College of Music. This is the class I went to. This is what I learned. Da 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 da. Just start learning making content. It could be anything. Day one of being a musician who doesn't really know how I'm ever going to make money. Document. All you have to do is document what you're doing, learn social media. Once you learn how to make it, then you can go into, okay, what do I actually want to do? Who should I make content for? Then the other thing is, fake it till you make it. I really think like you just gotta like lead with confidence and just feel secure about yourself. If you don't believe that you deserve a seat at the table, then nobody else will. And please, please, please don't do the victim mindset. The victim mindset is not going to help you. Like some people, you have it better than a lot of people, and you have it worse than a lot of people, no matter where you're starting from, right? No matter who you're starting from,
Right.
there's always going to be somebody in a worse off position and a significantly better off position. And all you got to do is just focus on how you can get to tomorrow. How do you get to the next step? How do you get to the next step? So the victim mental, a lot of musicians have the victim mentality. Woe is me, poor me, feel sorry for me. And then last advice, surround yourself with people that you admire. You know, if you feel like a ting of jealousy, that's the person you should be friends with. That's the person you should be hanging out with. That's the person that you should be, you know, paying for services, getting close with, showing up to their lives, instead of, you know, being angry at their success or what they're doing better than you. Learn from them. Those should be your friends.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 tips.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And hopefully we will get a chance to feature you in one of our tracks soon.
Well, thank you for having me, and good luck on the podcast. And yeah.
So, thank you.
Thanks for watching or listening. You can follow her on social media. And if you want to follow us as well and check out our music, it's going to be Laxom Music on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. LAXOM Music, one word. That's right. Stay tuned for more content on our channel. And we really thank you for listening. Peace.